So on February 8th, a new FCC filing for a new pair of Sony ANC headphones went up, and some people are starting to speculate that these are the Sony WH-1000XM5s. Now, just given that how competitive the premium ANC headphone market is, and just given that the Airpods Max now block out the most amount of noise, albeit with a ton of cabin pressure, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony is trying to rush out the WH-1000XM5s. But personally, I don't think these are the 1000XM5s. Now first, I want to give credit to the Walkman blog. They did a really good write-up on this FCC filing, and they also found some import listings regarding this headset. Now this is the FCC filing in question. Now we're not actually getting a good look at the design of this headset, we're just getting a general representation of this headset. But a lot of people are speculating that we're going to get a new design with the 1000XM5s, mainly because the FCC label has moved from the inside of the headband to the inside of the ear cup. Now, I fully agree that we're going to get a new design with the 1000XM5s, and you can get a preview of this new design by simply looking at the Sony XP910Ns. And personally, I am not excited about this. I do not want the 1000XM5s to share the same design language as the XP910Ns, because the XP910Ns have a very bulbous headband. I want a low-profile headband like the one found on the 1000XM4s and 1000XM3s. And besides, if we were to look at Sony's track record with their 1000Xs, the Mark I and Mark II shared the same design language, except the Mark II did get some upgrades under the hood. Then we got a design refresh with the 1000XM3s, and then the 1000XM4s got additional features and slightly roomier ear pads. So if we were to follow this trend, I do expect the 1000XM5s to get a design refresh similar to the XP910Ns. And if we were to look at the XP910Ns, you'll notice that they also got a design refresh from their successors, the XP900Ns, which personally I still prefer over the XP910Ns. But one of the reasons why I don't think this FCC filing is for the 1000XM5s is because if the 1000XM5 is going to share a similar design language to the XP910Ns, then I expect the FCC label to go on the side of the headband, just like with the XP910Ns, XP900Ns, 1000XM4s, 1000XM3s, and so on. Again, I'm just trying to follow a pattern here. Now, there are some people speculating that the reason why the FCC label on the 1000XM5s is changing from the side of the headband to inside of the ear cup is because Sony is going to be adding metal plating to the 1000XM5s to make them look and feel more premium and to help combat the headband cracking issue that might be an issue for some Sony headphones. But personally, I really don't think Sony is going to be adding any metal plating to their headphones. First off, I think Sony is going to want to continue to reduce the weight of their headphones because the 1000XM4s, 1000XM3s, XP910Ns, and XP900Ns are all relatively lightweight, weighing in at around 255 grams. So I don't think Sony is going to want to go in the opposite direction with the 1000XM5s. And I'm just being blunt here. I have never had any headband cracking issues with any of my Sony headphones. I really think that's just a you problem. Personally, I think it's more likely that we're looking at the FCC filings for the successors to the Sony WH-1000Ns. From an FCC label standpoint, Sony has had no issues moving the FCC label around on this model of headset, because these are the WH-700Ns, and they have their FCC label here on the exterior part of their headband. Whereas with the WH-710Ns, they have their FCC label here on the interior part of the headband. Whereas with all of Sony's other headsets, they all have their FCC filings here on the exterior part of the headband. So again, I'm just trying to follow a pattern here. But also, if we were to look at the upgrade cycle for Sony's headphones, the WH-710Ns are next in line and they're in dire need of an upgrade, both inside and out. And if we were to look at Sony's most recent release cycle for their ANC headphones, it has gone WH-700Ns, followed by the 1000XM3s, then came the XP900Ns, followed by the Huron 3s, then came the WH-710Ns, then came the 1000XM4s, and the most recent ANC headphones to be released are the XP910Ns. Now, if we were to follow this pattern, the Huron 4s should be next. But personally, I really don't know what Sony is doing with their Huron lineup. You barely see the Huron 3s on any marketing materials. The Huron 3s don't show up on Sony's site for sale, and in general, the Huron 3s are very hard to get. You can usually only get them from Costco. And personally, it is very hard for me to recommend the Huron 3s. Either get the 1000XM4s or get the XP910Ns. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony just quietly killed off their Huron lineup, and I actually think that would be a good thing because Sony would be streamlining their headphone lineup. Now, the Walkman blog also mentions that this mystery headset is going to be using a new Bluetooth chip. And if these are the successors to the WH-710Ns, then I really hope that they'll be able to be connected to two devices at the same time, just like how the 1000XM4s and XP910Ns can, because this is a feature that is missing on the WH-710Ns, and it is now a very standard feature, even for entry-level ANC headphones like these. And also, the Walkman blog mentions that this headset is going to have better fast charging, another feature that is lacking on the WH-710Ns. Because with this headset, if you were to charge them up for 10 minutes from a dead battery, they're only going to get you 1 hour of playback time, which is pretty weak in 2022, even for entry-level headphones. And finally, the Walkman blog talks about import logs concerning this headset, and these import logs talk about a black colorway and a silver colorway. Now, black and silver colorways are very standard for headphones, but the fact that we're only talking about black and silver colorways makes me think that these are the successors to the WH-710Ns and not the Huron 4s. If these were the Huron 4s, I feel Sony would be trying to push bolder colors like red, blue, green, and orange like they did with the Huron 3s. But instead, we've only got black and silver, which is very much in line for the WH-710Ns. So let's say you're not heartbroken that these aren't the Sony 1000XM5s and you're actually interested in the successors of the WH-710Ns because these actually make for great headphones for the gym. They get the job done and you don't feel too guilty about throwing them around, especially if you get them on sale for $100, which happens a lot. When do we actually think they will be released? Well, given the import logs and short-term confidentiality agreement, and just given Sony's past release cycle, I think mid-July and early August would be a good bet for these headphones. Sony does like to put their FCC applications in well in advance before the headphones actually release, and due to supply chain issues and cargo ship delays, I wouldn't expect these headphones right away. So, with all that being said, I think it is very unlikely that these are the 1000XM5s. I think it's too soon and it just doesn't line up to Sony's headphones refresh cycle. If you're thinking about getting the 1000XM4s today, I say go ahead, pick them up. I don't think you're going to suffer any buyer's remorse anytime soon. I really feel that these are the successors to the Sony WH-710Ns. And I really hope so because the WH-710Ns are a huge letdown from the WH-700Ns. I need Sony to bring back app support to the WH-710N successors. I also want them to be able to be paired to two devices at the same time. And please, can we get better feeling leatherette? Because the leatherette on these headphones is rough, it's coarse, and it gets everywhere. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know, I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something that I'm really proud of.